Hello, Temas here, and today I'm showing you the game of Repel Drifts. I'm still trying to win the game using only Cryos. So I narrate the game that I played earlier because I didn't want to disturb my family, and so I turned off the mic. So we start with the choice of two terrains. Both of them have very low path, just 3 tiles, so I'm not happy with it whatsoever. And I decided to go for bonus damage because I didn't do all the math beforehand and didn't know whether it will push me past some breakpoint or not, like hitting the killing the watcher with 2 shots instead of 3 shots, for example. So I'm calculating here whether I can push it somewhere in the range, but no. If I do it correctly, it's supposed to give 30 damage, 30 damage, which is still 3 shot for a watcher. So I am not super happy with this terrain, but it does well on the first wave. It will struggle on the second wave, and here I'm debating whether I should go with a single tower and then have money for upgrade, or whether I should put the second one. I decide to try to stick to 1 tower, knowing pretty well that it's most likely will not repel the wave, but that I will have enough health in the end. So yeah, I lost 76 health, which is more than I would like to, but not the end of the world. Here I get a better set of terrain, so I can place a couple of towers that cover like 10 tiles, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles. So these are good towers. And instead of upgrading a tower, I decided to go for 2 others. Another reason that I didn't want to put a tower on the previous wave, because there wasn't really a good tile to put it at where it would cover large amount of path. So here I knew that there will be new terrain next turn, and maybe it will give me good tower positions. So we of course skipping the towers because we only going to use Cryo. So next wave, Hound, 150 health. So I'm deciding to go for upgrades just to have more damage. I didn't build another tower because it does not. Well, actually, I'm considering to do it now. But the tower that I upgraded has much better coverage of the terrain, so I wanted it to be able to ditch out as much damage as possible rather than adding an extra tower. And this wave turns out to be easy to repel. So I'm doing just fine. Now the boss. So we always have a fork at this stage. I'm taking the fork that goes up so that I can better utilize my initial tower and the terrain that I have there. So they will be able to provide some utility when I continue the path upwards. Now I'm considering which one I want to upgrade, so I'm counting the number of tiles. They both have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles, I believe, of coverage. So I'm choosing which one of them should be a better tower at dealing as much damage as possible. So I decided to go with this one because it has a bonus to damage due to elevation. And currently I want to... I don't have any crits to rely on, so raw damage is something I'm aiming for. And here is a first unique upgrade for Cryo. we give demons a brittle debuff that reduces their armor, which is very good, something I want, because there will be a couple of waves with armor that fully covers the default tower damage. So creates something I want to build always, and economy that early I also want to take it, so I'm freezing both of these upgrades in the shop. And my towers are doing quite good with this wave. But of course I remember that wave 10 was the most problematic one, so it is wave 10 that I want to prepare to and survive. First artifacts, and here we get a heuristic processor that gives us 7% damage at the end of every night, which is, depending on the context, maybe the second broken artifact that guarantees us damage scaling. So now I'm feeling hopeful, but not certain yet, because I had a game where I played only with sentinels, where this artifact was not enough, in fact, to deal with wave 10. So now, since I got this artifact, I want to place as many towers as possible, so they will start scaling as soon as possible. I don't want to spend all my money upgrading towers and buying the shop, and then place 10 towers later, because I will lose on several days of accumulating this 7% bonus damage overnight. So these guys have shield, so I do not really slow them down before I deplete the shield. So they are steadily advancing, but still manage to repel them without taking any damage. So going upwards, I would like to upgrade the tower, but this is a better terrain, which is better covered by my first tower, and I can place a couple of towers there that will have a very good coverage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I believe, tiles. Here I'm realizing that I have a fork in the path, and the lower part is not really as well defended as the upper. So I'm thinking whether I should place more towers there in the south. But instead I decided to go for an upgrade. And yep. Giving all the towers that I can damage upgrade, because we will be facing enemies with armor. Here they are. So I care about damage much more than I care about the fire rate. I want them to be able to dish more damage than the armor they have. So like 23, for example, is not enough. 30 is already enough to deal some damage. But also, yes, I bought the brittle upgrade, so actually all my towers are able to deal damage to these armored guys. Still want to put as many towers as early as possible for them to scale. So I'm buying some upgrades and then trying to put towers. Here I'm considering actually buying the commander upgrades for the first time in my life, because I know that I took some damage and I know that I probably will take more damage. So I want to survive this wave 10. Hence I want to get some extra health on my commander just in case. decided to go upwards here because I have better protection there, and I don't remember at which stage I have another fork. So in case there would be a fork, I would be more convinced that my towers on the upper path can take care of them. So I want to first establish a very secure position on this path, and then expand downwards where I have the money to immediately build up some defense there. So dealing with armored wave quite well due to the brittle upgrade and just general increase in the damage of my towers. And we're approaching wave 10. So I get the increase for brittle, I get more health on the commander, even longer brittle duration, so they have reduced armor for a longer time, which I don't think I really need because all my towers are cryo towers. It's not that I have a cryo tower once in a while and I want to utilize this upgrade with, I don't know, sentinels or vanguards. No. So every single shot applies brittle, every single shot slows down, so I don't really need that. But also I don't want these upgrades that are limited to be constantly appearing in the shop and preventing me from seeing something else that I need. So in this regard, it is much more useful to have upgrades that increase the number of stacks of debuff rather than their duration. Yeah, so these guys are approaching me, and I'm deciding to use the buff for the power, but none of them has able to reach me. All because of the heuristic processor that gave us a lot of damage. So now I feel that it is time to go upwards, to choose the lower path and start building up the defense there. The second artifact. Don't care about energy, care about ore. This is not really that important. It's a low area of effect for large slowdown. So I'm going for extra ore to build up my economy. And here we see this bug again, where instead of getting an artifact, I'm getting nothing. And also my menu with towers disappears. So unfortunately, although I like excavations a lot, I will have to avoid them this game because they don't work. So this is these are very good tiles to place the return to it. Frostbitten, increase duration of frostbite by 1. Again, don't really need to increase the duration. I would like to increase the stacks, but I also would like these upgrades to be out of the shop because they're unique. I'm planning to level up a bunch of towers eventually, so freezing this one also to get it out of the shop. Now, these tiles that I put my towers on, they're actually very good because my lower path will extend in the same direction, so they will be simultaneously covering upper and lower path. So I want to put a lot of towers in there, and they will have a very good coverage and be the core of my defense. So we're skipping towers again for some extra money. Now this is good, it increases maximum stacks of frostbite. So maximum stacks, yes, please give them to me as many as possible. As always, I'm going for crits. As always, I'm not interested in the energy whatsoever. decided to spend some time on some ore on leveling up. And then roll some shops. Here we have deal 8 bonus damage for each stack of frostbite. Also, this bonus is increased for every 5% of this tower's bonus rate of fire. So it is a unique upgrade, which I actually want, so it is extra damage. I'm checking how many stacks of frostbite I have, because I vaguely remember buying an upgrade that increases the stacks of frostbite. But I also not sure whether I'm not confusing it with the duration of frostbite. And apparently I have both of them. I have extra stack and I have extra duration. So I can apply up to 3 stacks of frostbite. So this upgrade supposed to give me quite some damage. Again, we're dealing with an armored wave reasonably well, all because of our scaling of the towers. So the damage just keep increasing and keep going over the armor limit that the enemies have. And here we have a very good set of terrain. So we have an instant tower level up, and we have plenty of places where towers will be useful on both of the paths. And I hit the fork as I anticipated at some point. So I'm realizing that my lower path is now probably less defended than the upper path. Here I'm considering whether I want this upgrade or not to have discount on the deploying towers. I'm trying to do some math and figure out how many towers do I need to play to gain from it, and deciding that probably I don't want it now. So I believe I'm not locking it in the shop. Yeah, so I'm doing the math now. So we have 120 price of the tower, 8% of it would be what, 9.6, so about 10. So I would need to place like 13, 14 towers to benefit from it, and I think that I probably don't have enough time and place for that. And these guys actually seem to reach my commander. So here I'm experiencing a little bit of stress and thinking, what can I do? And again, this second ability bugged out and I couldn't click on it, so I couldn't give my towers extra damage. And yeah, I took a lot of damage. Was a bit sketchy. And I'm thinking what I can do immediately to increase my chances of survival. So I got extra damage, I got extra crit chance. So I want to get extra fire rate, extra economy, and more health on the commander because the health is getting low. I'm thinking that the bulk of my towers is already there. So I would rather upgrade the ones that I have now than build new ones, because, well, we get in later and later in the game. The new towers will have less scaling due to the heuristic processor. So I would rather have the towers that I have to be as powerful as humanly possible. Another boss wave. And beautiful piece of terrain. So I want now to put a few more towers around it that will cover both lower and upper path. When Cryo attacks demon afflicting with frostbite, its rate of fire is increased by 40%. 100%. So this is bonkers, because, well, all of my enemies are inflicted with frostbite if they don't have shield, so it's just basically a forever improvement of fire rate. I see this one upgrade one more time, and this time I decided that, okay, I will take it, mostly because I don't want to see it again. I don't want it to occupy place in the shop of something that would be much more useful and important. And indeed, my peninsula of towers seem to be doing very well on both upper and lower paths. So I am confident now that I can build this peninsula into something very, very strong. Damage over time, don't have it. Two upgrades that give me extra damage. One for every 150 tower attacks, tower gain 100% damage altogether. Another is depends on the number of level towers and can go up to 100%. I'm thinking that I'm doing a lot of attacks, so maybe the third artifact can scale further than 100%, so I'm deciding to take it. Improving my economy. And placing a couple of more towers at the tiles where they will have a lot of use. And upgrading the most useful towers that are covering as much terrain as possible. Fire rate for Cryo is useful not only to increase the fire rate, but also to increase the damage from the unique upgrades that I got. The Frostbite, I believe it's called, right? That gives the damage based on the percentage of based on number of stacks of frostbitten and or based on the percentage of extra attack speed. Okay, now I'm thinking that I can actually expand upwards and make this path a little bit longer. So building more towers. Also, I wanted more towers that would cover the very final tiles in case somebody arrives there, because currently these tiles are covered with only a couple of towers. So expanding the terrain upwards actually gave me this possibility, this excuse to place a few towers that cover also my commander. Adaptive plating turns out not to be of any concern to me, because my damage scaled far enough to not really care about few stacks of armor. 144 damage. More crit, more fire rate. Always wanted. Even more crit. Increase maximum stacks of brittle. So that I definitely want. And I do want more crit, and I'm checking what's my crit chance and what's my brittle debuff. So I'm reducing damage, I'm reducing armor, and then I deal extra damage per frostbite, not per brittle. So I care more about stacks of frostbite, but okay, reducing armor even more, why not? And I'm checking whether I have any armored enemies ahead of me. So whether I need to prioritize this, or whether I needed to prioritize this upgrade or not, but I already bought it, so who cares? 57 critical percent chance. So 57% critical chance. So at this point, I am confident that I probably survived this game, because I have the core defense, that I have reasonably good pathing, so enemies take a lot of time to go past my bulk of towers. So I'm expanding here because it is the shortest path and therefore the weakest, and I am trying to find a good terrain. So this one is promising because it can turn more downwards, so I can use this little peninsula with extra towers. If a demon with max frostbite stack is hit again, spread frostbite to other demons in the area around. Like, generally not useful to me at all, because, well, I am applying frostbite with every single shot, so I will give frostbite to every single enemy either way. But legendary, beautiful orange, and applies to my cryo towers, and I also want it to be out of the shop eventually. So these guys have shield, so they are not afflicted with any of my debuffs, but I'm dealing quite well with them anyway. Another boss wave with adaptive plating. As I have seen before, I really don't care about adaptive plating. Extra brittle stack for even more armor reduction, more crit, more health. Want them both. I feel strong at this point, so I don't think I really need extra health, but also I don't want to throw this at the last moment, so I'd rather be prepared for some unpredicted events. Not sure why I chose to go here. Probably because I was expecting to see a fork, and I didn't want to fork the bottom path because it's the weakest path. So don't care about energy as always. Don't really care about slowing them down that much, so I'm considering whether I take 600 or but then decide that better safe than sorry. The slower they are, the more hits they get from my towers. So I'm taking it, and I'm putting even more towers at the new terrain. Checking how much coverage would a tower get if I free this tile, and deciding that probably not enough. I'm thinking it's finally time to upgrade the bulk of my towers. So they will deal more damage, they will slow down more, and also they stayed here for a long time, so they all accumulated a lot of stacks of heuristic processor. So I want them to be prepared for whatever is coming. It seems that the demons don't really arrive to this peninsula. They tend to die close to the entrance, which is a little bit surprising because the towers close to the entrances are much fresher, so they have less number of stacks of heuristic processor. But all of them have ridiculous amount of fire speed, so I guess fire rate. I guess that helps. So 249 is a very good fire rate. And default damage of a new tower is 45, which is also quite reasonable. I have enemies with a lot of shield, so I won't really be applying any debuffs to them. They will not be slowed, and they can actually go much further. Could, but they didn't. %87% of critical chance. So after this next upgrade I will go to 97%, almost 100%. So the final expansion of the land. And I want to upgrade the towers that... Well, first I want to get my almost 100 critical chance, and then upgrade the towers that will be facing both upper paths. And yep, I ran out of money, so I think I'm taking a screenshot of the field at this moment, and yeah, we go into the final night. And that was a story of a little Cryo that finally could. So in the end I got 99% damage there. And yeah, thanks to the heuristic processor, we did it. So thank you for your attention, and I see you in the next one. Bye.